everyone, here I am in another video and following a series where I criticize things I see on TikTok. I will talk about Project Pen after. For shake the video, I have a really good reception with the video, so I want to make more videos about this, and my mirror is appearing on camera. But I really liked doing that video, and I started to think about other things that I could talk about related to that theme. And I remembered Project Pen. And don't get me wrong, I really like watching Project Pen videos. I think it's a good initiative. I don't think that it will actually help you all alone. It's not that I'm against the Project Pen, but it's because I think that people are treating it like the salvation of their lives, like this the thing that will correct my consumerism. But it won't. I'm sorry, it won't. And I will talk about it. I will explain you why you cannot count on Project Pen fully. But let's start with what is Project Pen? Basically, it's something that is happening on the internet. I guess it started some years ago, where you set a goal for you to reach the pen of your makeup products. But in general, you don't have to only use makeup products. You can also use other products such as perfume, moisturizers, skincare in general, and every kind of product that you have in such a great amount. You can add to a project pen, giving it the goal of reaching its pen. And what is the pen? Basically, I have some products here. The pen is like the bottle of the product. This is the pen. So that's your goal, to make your product look like this. And I have many products that looks like this. I have some here. And for me, it was so natural to achieve the pen the pen of my products, because I buy my products and I use them. But I started to notice that some people, they actually have a hard time achieving it because they are always buying new products. So the project pen is a way for them to start putting as a goal to reach the pen of the products for them to buy new ones. Okay, in theory, it's actually a good thing. As I said, I follow many creators that has this kind of content and I like it, but it alone, it won't help you as much. And I want to talk about it because I actually want you to change your overconsume consumer action. So let's think about it. I think it's a good initiative. I think it will help you a lot if you set this goal and follow it. But you have to understand that the root of the problem is not you don't finishing your products. The problem is that you're buying too much. And I think that there are many factors that can be making you spend a lot and buying so many products that allow you know they make part of the same category. So for example, you have a ton of blush, you have a ton of mascaras, you have a ton of perfumes. You have to understand that your problem is not exactly that you don't finish them and they end up expired. No, it's because you're buying too much. And the first thing I think that causes this kind of problem is actually the content you consume on the internet. In pandemic, I was away from the internet. I didn't have Instagram. Actually, I had, but I wasn't using it. I literally deleted from my phone, and I didn't use Instagram. I didn't watch short videos, any kind of short videos. I didn't watch them. I didn't have TikTok. I literally downloaded TikTok last year because I had to create content to there, and I had to say that since I downloaded the damn app, I got addicted to that. So you see that there's something on this media that makes you get addicted to it. And I didn't consume any kind of short video content. I didn't use Instagram. I only use YouTube, and most part of the videos I watched, they weren't related to makeup. They are only related to books. They were related to politics. They were related to literature. That was the kind of content I consumed back then. And again, my mug is here. And at the time, I literally started this minimalism behavior that I have today. I have a video about it, the frugal chic one. I talk about it, that I was pretty minimalist back then and barely buy things. As you, man, I didn't use half of the makeup that I use today. I didn't use concealer. I didn't use contour because I didn't care about it. I only did the makeup I wanted. I had my products and all. And once I started to consume short videos, especially makeup short videos, I started to buy a lot of makeup. So you can see that the content you consume, they affect your buying behavior. They affect. And I said it previously that I didn't consume makeup products, so I didn't buy many makeup products. I, I didn't consume makeup content, so I didn't buy many makeup products, but I consumed a lot of literature content and I was buying a lot of books. And today I don't allow myself to buy books because I literally have so many books and I don't read them because I was there buying, and I couldn't manage to read all of them. So you can see that the content you consume, they affect your consumer behavior. They affect. So I wasn't buying makeup, but I was buying books. I stopped to consume books content because I was literally I understand that my problem were the content I was consuming. But I came back to consume makeup content, and then here I am. I want to buy makeup, and I am buying a lot of makeup. But in my case, defending myself, I use makeup. I use makeup every single day. As you can see, I use makeup every single day. I love makeup. It's something that I really like. I really use it. I always try new makeup looks. So my makeups, they literally end. I don't buy a lot of makeup, but I'm always rebuying some of them because I finish them. But I can say that once I started to consume makeup content again, I started to feel this will to buy makeup. So I wanted to try the new hyped product, the new trend product. I wanted to be part of the trend. And I see that in this meantime that I came back to consume makeup content, how many products they were so popular like 3 years ago and nobody talks about them anymore. For example, Dior makeup. It was so hyped. It was the trend of the moment in 2023. Everyone wanted to have lip oil from Dior. They wanted to have the highlighter palette. They wanted the foundation. And what was the last time that you hear about Dior makeup? You don't, because people don't care about Dior anymore. Now we have other brands that people like so much more than Dior. So you can see that it's only trends. But imagine if you're someone who are always buying these hyped products, these trend products. There you are with ton of makeup and you don't use it because you didn't buy it because you like it. You buy it because you are seeing people buy it and this product is not trend anymore, but you don't care about them anymore and you want to buy the new trend product. And that's the start of the problem. The problem. So you have to understand that the pen is a good way for you to finish your products, but I see that's my problem with the project pen because I see people wanting to end this product as soon as possible because they don't like this product. They want to buy a product that is on trend and they cannot allow themselves to buy it because they make the compromise of finish it before buying a new one, but they start to hate the products they put in the project pen because they didn't buy it because they liked it. They buy it because it was a trend. And there they are, like, man, this product, I hate this product. They will never finish. But you have to understand that once you buy things you truly like, you don't want them to end. You don't want them to finish. So let me take this blush again. They're on pen there in the finish, and I love it. I love it. If it ends, I will buy a new one because I love this color. And but I won't buy because I already had other blush. But I really like this color and I have it since 2020, I guess, 2021. And it was the only blush I had. I didn't have these new ones that I had today. I didn't have them. I literally only had it. So that's why I use it a lot. And I really like this color. It's so cheap. This product is extremely extremely cheap. And I love it. And I don't want it to finish because I know I love this color, you know? Another one, this eyeshadow palette. It was like I only had two eyeshadow palettes, this and another one. The other one I bought it when I was 15. Literally, the day I got 15, I bought it. It was a gift I received. And I didn't like the colors because there are many pink tones, and I don't like pink tones. And I was like, man, I had to buy a new one because I don't have an eyeshadow palette. And I bought this one, and I don't want it to finish because I love these colors. And if it finish, I don't think I will rebuy the same, but I'll probably buy a similar one with the same colors. So when you like the products you have, you don't want them to end. You don't want them to finish because you really like them. You want to keep using them. So you can see that the problem is not actually for you to end your products, but the fact that you dislike them because you only bought them because of the content you're consuming. So the exercise I want to practice with you today. If you don't like a product, if you actually dislike it, don't force it on your project pen. Give it to somebody else. Maybe this person will like it much more than you, of course, if it's in a good state, if it's in a stage that you can give it to somebody else, another thing. But you cannot force yourself to like a product you don't like, so I forgot what I was saying. I think that if you reduce the content you're consuming related to the things you have a problem buying, it will already help you with your consume habits. As I said, I stopped consuming book related content and I'm not buying book anymore. If you reduce the makeup content you're consuming, you probably not having this will to buy new makeup, so that's what you have to do. You have to change. You have to understand what is causing you this need of buying the same product all and all over again. So reduce your screen time. Change the type of content you're consuming. See the products you have. And I have to say that most part of people, I'm talking about makeup because most part of project and pens, they are makeup related. Most part of people that I see, they have so much makeup. They don't even use makeup. They only buy makeup because they want to have the makeup, but they don't use it. I can count how many times I heard people saying, because I was always a makeup reference in my environment, many people reached me out to talk about makeup because they saw that I was always using makeup. And they said, man, I have so much makeup, but I don't use it because I don't know how to make up myself. So why you keep buying makeup products if you don't use it. So you have to make sure that you use the products you have, because if you're not using it, give it to somebody else. Project Pen won't help you. Won't help you. And you have to understand that your problem is not ending the products, but the fact that you're buying too much at a point that you can't even use all the products. It's not normal for you to have like 10 blushes. It's not normal for you to have 50 um, lipsticks. It's not normal, and you have to understand that it's not. And if you keep buying products from the same category, only because you're always seeing these products and you want to be part of the trend, you have to understand that your problem is not finished. Another things that I could give you, another tips that I can give you is to buy things you actually like. So sometimes we are out, like hanging out, and we see something that we like. You can allow yourself to buy this thing, but if you'd only buy it because someone recommended you, and no, you shouldn't. If you don't feel like, man, I don't actually like it, don't buy it. Because why are you buying something you don't even like? For example, something that I barely buy is clothes. You can notice that I always wear the same clothes here because I have few clothes. And it's not because I don't like clothes. Actually, I love clothes. I really love clothes. I talked more about it on Frugal video, but on Frugal Chick video. But I understand that even though I love clothes, I cannot be buying anything just to have a clothes. I have to like this clothes. I have to see that if it matches, if it fits the other clothes I already have, if I'm able to wear it in the places that I usually go. You have to think before buying, you know? So you have to understand that you have to like the things you're buying because, man, your money, they are, like the fruit of a hard working. You worked so much to have this money to pay your bills. Once you will give you a gift, a present because you deserve it, you have to buy something that you actually want, that you actually like. If you're always buying to, like feel this wheel of buying new things all the time, you end up only accumulating things, and you be in this stigma. You have to end these products to make the money worth it, but you hate these products. You're forcing yourself to use them. So I don't think that's the solution. I actually don't think. You know, um, if you don't like something, don't force yourself to like it. Give it to somebody else that will make a better use of it. Oh, but I waste money. I'm sorry. You can do nothing about it. What do you do? You bought it, or you use it, or you pass it to somebody else. If you don't like it, there's no point of forcing yourself to use it. And I have to say that the worst thing is for you to have things you don't like. I already passed through that, especially when I was a kid. I I sometimes I was needing some kind of clothes, and my mom was like, choose something for you, like a dress or a shirt, you know. And most part of the times I didn't find clothes that I actually liked. But I had to buy something because my mom was there. You have to buy it. You have to buy something because you don't have clothes. And I chose anything. And I hated that clothes. I literally felt ridiculous wearing them. And I remember that feeling. How many times I forced myself to wear clothes I hated because I only bought anything because I didn't want to think too much before buying. So it's much better when you see the products you have and you see, man, I like each of them. I like them. I like using them. I feel good wearing them. There's nothing like this feeling. So this is my these are my tips when it comes to ways of you to change your consumerism. I think the content we consume, they affect so much our consume behaviors. Um, of course, there are many other ways that you can change your mind. In some cases, it's such a severe case that you have to find a therapy to treat it. Yes, sometimes I need. I watch it. Back in Bloom. I love that movie, and it was basically her case. Sometimes you have some childhood trauma where you are always buying something because you couldn't afford having it when you were a child, when you were a kid, when you were a child. So sometimes the root of this product of this problem actually can be a childhood trauma. If you lived in the absence of things, if you lived i- lacking of basic things, you may have a problem with consumer behavior. And this is serious. It is comprehensible. We will not judge anyone whose um consumerist issues are related to those things. But we have to understand that it's not normal for you to be spending a lot and not using what you buy. Unfortunately, it's not. And you have to find the root of the problem for you to treat it. And I don't want to be me and all. No, but I want to be realistic here. So I think Project Fan is amazing. As I said, I really like consuming uh, content related to Project Fan. But you have to understand that sometimes the problem is not the pen. Sometimes this problem is here, it's here, and you have to treat it from the root because think with me, you're there. You reach the pen of all the products, you finish them, and then you're rebuying a lot of things again. You may end the products, but you didn't change the habits. And I see many content creators that make Project Pen series and all. They don't buy, but they end up receiving a lot of PRs, a lot of makeup. And I'm like, man, you're there doing the Project Pen, but you're also accumulating things through the PRs you're receiving. So it doesn't change anything. You keep accumulating things. So is your problem actually the pen? Is your problem actually finish the products? Or because you want to have so many things and you can't control the wheel? Because sometimes this can be also your problem. You don't know what is not having what you want when you want. This is something that I never passed through, but I understand people who pass through this. People who always had what they wanted at the time they wanted. They never listened to a no. Their parents always gave them everything they wanted when they wanted. And I'm like, man, I never, this is not my reality. I lack of some things that I wanted to have, something that I didn't. But sometimes you are always allowing yourself to have what you want. And sometimes you have to understand that it's normal to don't have what you want. It's normal to wait for something. It's normal. Everyone passes through this. So I know it's not good. No one wants to want things and don't have them. But we can survive. You can survive if you don't buy this blush. You can survive. Your life won't end if you don't buy the neo highlighter. It won't end. You will sleep, wake up next morning, and you forget about it, you know? So no one dies of lacking, lacking of things they merely wanted, you know? If it's not something you actually need, you can live without it. You can live without it. So You have to learn to. I'm not knowing how to say it. I will search the term that I'm actually want to say because today my English is not on this prime. But uh, basically, I know that you won't have. I know that you won't like actually be waiting for something, but in life we have to wait for some things. Uh, Let me start it. You have to learn how to resist cravings. That's what I wanted to say. So you have to learn to crave for something and know that sometimes you won't have this thing, you know? And that's it. You won't die from craving. No one dies from craving, you know? So I know this is not good. No one like it, but we survived to here. So this is the video. You don't have to agree with me. If you do project plan, keep doing it. I think it's amazing. But try to think about it. Try to think what is causing this craving for buying things in me. Because, as I said, I think it's a good thing. Project plan is amazing. But for you to solve your problem fully, you have to understand what is causing it. So that's the video. I hope you like it and see you in the next one. Bye.